Michelle Obama has said that she's going to join Hillary Clinton and Elizabeth Warren and basically the entirety of the Democratic establishment and much of the Soros-funded world in trying to advocate towards mail-in voting. And this is obviously another opportunity for voter fraud. You don't have to take our word for it or even President Trump's word for it. You can look at the evidence. We've consulted with Eric Eggers, who is a expert in voter fraud and voter registration trickery, who worked with Peter Schweitzer at the Government Accountability Institute. And he suggested that a Democrat plan for ballot harvesting, I'll get to that in a second, could mean 24 million ineligible voters get sent ballots. And this is an amazing thing because the Democrats don't just want people to be able to mail in their vote. What they want is they want individuals other than the voter to handle their own ballot. Now, that is clearly an opportunity designed to create fraud. And you always have to ask, when we make these tectonic changes to the way we do things in American life, who benefits? Who's the beneficiary of this? And the beneficiary in this case clearly is going to be Democrats, which is why this is a purely partisan issue. Republicans not interested in this at all. Because why? Because whereas the Republicans' ideas tend to be more persuasive to people, the more they're heard out, which is why as you get older, you become more conservative, more Republican. The Democrats have a huge monopoly, a huge leg up on community organizing. This is something that we mocked when Barack Obama was running for president. Well, certainly we've learned our lesson since then. This is the ultimate community organizing maneuver. When you have vote by mail voting, what you're going to see is you're going to see people who are gathering the votes or gathering the ballots, literally the votes of individuals in their neighborhood who may or may not even exist or be eligible or who knows even alive, because it's going to be so hard to check all this stuff when you're talking about 160 million votes. And they're going to be able to gather them up on their own and drop them all in the mail one at a time. This is a clear opportunity for fraud, and the people who benefit most from the fraud, the Democrats. Republicans aren't going to do that sort of thing because, one, they have more integrity, and two, they don't abide by this ends justifies the means mentality. Not to say Republicans are perfect, but certainly when it comes to mail ballot fraud, it's overwhelming that it is the Democrats who have pursued this. Now, is there an element of legitimacy to it? Sure. And this is where people have to be careful, because people are going to suggest that going to the polls and voting in November is simply not doable. It's going to be too risky because of the coronavirus. And helping them right now is Dr. Fauci, who I not so affectionately refer to as Dr. Doom. And I don't want to judge him as a doctor or as a infectious disease specialist, where his credentials are very impressive. And I do think that he's trying to help in his own way. He just doesn't get that the media is trying to create a narrative that hurts the president of the United States. And so he was out there today suggesting he can't guarantee people will be safe for the November election. This is the exact kernel the Democrats are going to use to try to push this forward. And so we saw today Michelle Obama getting in on it, saying, the latest celebrity activist saying that the Democrats' vote by mail legislation is a good thing. This is a big moment and a scary moment, because if this becomes a law of the land, Republicans will never win another national election. This is a big, big deal, and when you need to be very careful about, and count on the Democrats to use that quote from Fauci going forward to suggest it is not safe to go to the polls. And if you do go to the polls, you could be at great risk. And if you're at great risk, then, well, it means we're irresponsible for suggesting people show up and vote one person, one vote. The responsible thing would be gathering the votes, harvesting the votes, and letting community organizers control our elections and thus our electoral future. Dark stuff indeed, and we have to pay very close attention to a big story today at Breitbart.com.